Good evening, family, and welcome to episode 8 of hashtag What Woke Looks Like. I am your hostess with the mostest, Yolanda Yoga Spiritualist Tops, and we have another exciting episode for you guys this evening. We're going to be talking to none other than Tanisha Naughton. She is a rebirth doula. You're going to find out what that is in a little bit. And a Qigong instructor. But before we talk to Tanisha this evening, we're going to hear a word from our sponsor, the Female Solution. Stay tuned because hashtag what woke looks like starts now.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talents, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the Female Solution.
And I'm back. I told you we had an exciting show, and we do. We're going to be talking with Tanisha Naughton. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Tanisha. I just met her for the first time officially yesterday evening, and she was a treat. So I know that you're going to dig this podcast tonight. Tanisha is a certified health and wellness practitioner who specializes in nervous system regulation, burnout, food and lifestyle changes, mindfulness, and embodied stress reduction. She is the founder of the Rebirth Sanctuary podcast, and she is also known as Miss Wellness herself. She has dedicated herself to helping high achieving women to manage things like anxiety, emotional overwhelm, and trauma related stress through Qigong movement and journaling sessions that she teaches through her virtual workshops. Please join me in welcoming Tanisha Naughton, Miss Wellness herself, to the stage.
Hello, hello.
What's up?
What's going on, my sister?
We in here.
We here. Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
We are in the house. We are in the house, and so glad to have you. Thank you for accepting the invitation.
Yes.
Come in and talk to us about all of the wonderful things that you are doing in your community, in your space, and in your life. So without further ado, I want to jump right in this evening, make the most of our time here together. And I just want you to tell us a little bit about how you got started on this journey, because as I'm like reading through your bio, right? And of course I had seen it before now. But you know, sometimes things begin to click in a different way as you look at them, a first, second, third, fourth time. And I'm thinking, okay, this chick does a lot.
Indeed.
You are a powerhouse, okay? In case nobody ever told you, I need you to know that. You are a powerhouse. I mean, you are doing the doggone thing, sister. So tell me a little bit, tell us a little bit about how you came to be Miss Wellness.
Yes, it's been a journey. We're definitely gonna do this in some parts because it's been a years long journey. So it started for me around 2017, 2018, actually 2016, 2017, because I worked in foster care as a supervisor for New York City foster care. Right. It's tough. It was very, very tough being in that space. Right. And for the first time, I was a high achieving woman. Like I always did my job really, really well. But I was going through a lot at this particular time in my life. My grandma had passed. I was in a relationship that wasn't serving me. And my job, I was a supervisor, so I had to take care of for the people. And we had a lot of in and outs. In foster care, if you don't go to school for social work or if you're not used to being in that field, it can be extremely stressful. And so sometimes you hire someone who isn't fully equipped for the job. And so if
Yes.
someone quits, then I have to take on their caseload. So
Yes.
I was under a lot of stress throughout that entire time in 2016. And it led to me having depression. But at first, unbeknownst to me, it was burnout. And it wasn't something that was talked about back then as much as it is now. So it was something that
Mhm.
was kind of like undetermined. And I didn't go to anyone to go get checked out. I was just constantly, what it looked like for me was I was sleeping, but I felt exhausted every time I woke up. And then I would have to
Mm.
take a nap. I was definitely irritable. I remember yelling at a client, and that is something that's not in my nature to really do. But I was just so fed up with things that were happening in my life. And so we fast forward to, I'm like, oh, I just need to get a job and a new job and get out of this environment, which I did, thankfully, around August of 2016. And now I'm like, everything's fine. I'm okay. I'm out this relationship. Don't have to worry about a thing.
Mhm.
But I I felt that that was the beginning of my spiritual journey because my mom unfortunately was diagnosed with having diabetes, and that became like the new thing. I was like, man, I go from one thing to the next thing. And so I'm in this survival mode of I just want my mom to be well because I've had my grandma pass away before from she had diabetes as well. And it was very sporadic, like how she passed. So I just kept thinking in my head, like, I want my mom to be here, you know?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I was on this journey of becoming vegan and I learned about Dr. Sebi. I was learning about herbs. And so I just kept telling my mom, like, hey, we're going to do this together because I was actually overweight from the relationship that I had before and from the burnout. I was eating really poorly, drinking a lot, just partying a lot. And so we began this journey, and that is what got me into wellness because I remember my mom going to the doctor and he was like, I don't know what your daughter is doing, but you are definitely improving and your numbers are going down and you don't need the medication. She was on metformin, which was making her dizzy. My mom had lost weight. She didn't look like herself. And to hear that, I was like, oh, I wasn't studying this at all. It just really fell in my lap and I just wanted my mom to be better. And so that started the journey, which is what made me become certified in health and wellness coaching. And so I'm like, that's mom, love her dearly. And she's better. And so I learned like someone, if you change your diet, it can definitely help you immensely. And not to say that she's never went back and forth to eating meat. My mom, God bless her, like is about to be 70. And so, but she was willing to take this journey with
Wow.
me. Yeah. And it helped so much. So I was like, well, if I did this for her, I would love to do this for other people. So I studied herbalism. I was making herbal teas for people. And that's kind of like the first chapter, I would say, with how I began into this space. I was still working corporate, but making these herbal teas for people, helping them with anything that they had going on. And I was also doing personal training. I come from a background of, I'm a previous college Division II athlete. So sports has always been in my life, worked in the gym. And so I combined the two, wellness and helping you move your body to lose weight and to learn how to detox. So that's the first pause before I would say we get into the next stage of the rest of my bio.
Well, listen, that in and of itself is huge. Everything that you've said thus far, really speaks to, why and how you are where you are today. And I think one of the things that I picked up on, and that's why I had the Pop Mom's picture up there. Now, how long has it been since you guys took that picture?
Man, I don't know, maybe like 5 years ago.
Okay, okay. And you said mom is 70?
Yeah, she's turning 70 next year, February.
Okay, okay. So here she would have been like 64, maybe 60.
Yeah.
Listen, mom is mom is looking good. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
can I look like mom? And I'm just saying what I gotta do.
You gotta work with me. That's
Okay, I was about to say now you could go ahead and sign me up because if this is how I'm gonna be looking,
Mhm.
at 65, 70, then what do I sign? What do I need to do to get on board?
I
Okay.
was definitely blessed. Yes.
Yes, definitely, definitely. So you talked about, and I want to definitely double down, I think, on this piece about burnout
Mhm.
because that's such a key piece for, I feel like Black women in particularly, women, period.
Mhm.
But Black women, more so than any other group, I think we experience the, largest rates of burnout and stress. Would you agree with that? I'm kind of trying to remember some stats off the top of my head.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's so much that we take on, there's so many burdens of everyone, in addition to the stuff that we put on ourselves, the expectations, ancestral traumas
Mm-hmm.
that we're sometimes aware of and sometimes we're not, and the emotions that our body stores.
Yes.
And like you said, it does happen in women of color, period,
Mm-hmm.
and women in general. But
Mm-hmm.
there's something about just the African American woman that we have so many things that I believe is passed down through our legacy, quote unquote, from traumas. I always say the example of I see my mom, she used to have a hard time like sitting down. She always did something.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in myself. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I
Mm-hmm.
just, stop? Why do I always have to do something? That in itself is something that can lead to the burnout. Like you're constantly on the go. It's usually high achieving women who just don't know how to stop, because when they stop, that's when they feel. And that's
Yeah.
when all the emotions take over. It's like, what is happening? And that was me, one aspect of my burnout in
Mm-hmm.
2016 when I finally would just relax a little bit. I just felt so uneasy and restless from my day.
Mm,
And
mm.
it's now been a journey of learning how to undo those burnouts. But yeah, it's always a lot of lack of boundaries, people pleasing.
Ooh,
You want to show up for everybody, but you're barely showing up for
but
yourself,
are
and you
you
think.
showing up for yourself? Right,
Exactly. And
right.
most aren't. The
Yeah,
self-love, that's why I love always say, like, it's helping you fall back in love with yourself is what really the
yes,
core of my work
yes,
is, because
yes.
that's what I've worked on doing within myself, because the burnout has hit me 2, 3 times. 2016 was only the first aspect of it
Right,
for me.
right.
So yeah, I would definitely agree with it's definitely high in Black women.
Yes, definitely high. And I'm a living testimony. I could remember it must have been somewhere around 2010
Mhm.
when I realized I was suffering from depression myself. And I've always been a high achiever, so to speak. I don't know what it means not to be one. It's always been like the push to excel, the constant climb. And a lot of that has to do with, who I am,
Mhm.
like my genetic makeup,
Right.
the way I was raised and socialized, it's just, you don't quit, you keep going. But in the midst of all of that, there I was, married, mother of four, in school, working 2, 3 jobs, just doing it all. And one day I just shut down. And I don't know what your experience was, but I could tell you when I shut down, I shut down.
Mm.
Like, I don't want to do nothing, talk to nobody, leave me alone, or else.
Yeah. I could definitely resonate with
Okay,
that.
it's gonna be some
Yeah.
snow singing and flower bringing if you
It's
keep
hard.
bothering me, because I I'm tapped out. I'm tapped out.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the Black community, I stuck a pin in something else you said. You said that now we are addressing these issues and you're hearing about these terms, these
Mhm.
buzzwords in mental health more than ever before. But there was a time we didn't. Now,
Mhm.
2010, go back there 15 years ago, social media really was
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
coming into play. We were just seeing the beginnings of like what Facebook,
Yeah.
maybe MySpace, and
You're taking it back. Yeah.
I'm telling my age, okay? I'm telling my age.
It's all right. I was a part of Facebook movement myself. You good?
You remember MySpace? And
Sure do.
what was the other one?
Those were the two I was using. What?
Something Planet. Something Planet.
Oh, you talk about Black Planet? No.
Think about Black Planet. Am I
I'm
thinking
like,
about
wait.
And I
Like,
think
wait a minute.
Black Planet, maybe Black Planet was for dating. I can't really remember.
I think it
But
was.
we were just seeing like the emergence of those things, right?
Yeah.
There was
Mhm.
no TikTok. There was no
Mhm.
Instagram. There was no, I don't think Twitter was around just yet. I can't remember.
2010, I think it was. Yeah.
It could have been, but I know I wasn't a part of the community quite that far back.
Mhm.
But to make a long story short, I kind of felt like I was out there by myself. And so I went and saw my general practitioner, and she was like, yeah, you're depressed.
Mhm.
He was like, and it's like a chemical imbalance as well. It goes beyond just what's happening psychologically and mentally. And she said, I'm gonna recommend something to you to take.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh Lord, she about to put me on some psychotropic medication. I can't do that. And now there
Mhm.
I was, a whole entire mental health counselor.
Right.
That was, but still, it was
Yeah.
like, I can't do that. I'm supposed to be
Mhm.
the prototype for everybody.
Mhm.
But I can tell you from then until now, and I'm no longer on the medication. I've kind of overcome that
Yeah.
phase. But I was on it for, I know, 10 years.
Okay.
And I'm so glad I took that journey, and I went to counseling. I got some therapy for myself. Therapists need therapists too.
That part.
Okay. And so I had to do the work.
Mhm.
And in doing so, I was able to get onto the other side.
Yeah. Shout out to you for doing the work, because that was not the road that I took. I took the I'm the strong woman and I'm gonna figure this out. And this is why I'm here sharing, because it just wasn't, it was a lot of stigma. I know I should probably state, like, my family is not from this country. My family is from
Okay.
Guyana.
Oh,
So yes, I'm Black, but I'm also Caribbean, and shout out to Guyana. And
come
so
on, come
that
on.
that's another level of, what you think you need therapy like that. It was
Mhm.
always in the back of
Oh,
my
yeah,
head, like, no,
yeah,
you could get over this. Like, you're okay, you're fine.
right.
But really and truly, I wasn't, because if we moved to the timeline of the pandemic, and I was, like, at the top of my game with my job, everything was cool. But when they mandated the vaccine, and I always preface this with, everyone's story is their own. When that happened to me, because I was working at this time in New York City public schools as a school mental
Mhm.
health consultant. Again, I'm in a
Okay,
mental health space,
okay,
but
okay, but
and we're
also
getting
in education as well. Okay,
right,
okay,
right. So it's another high intensity level, a little
yeah,
bit it's less than foster care, I will always say that. But we work in schools, and so if you worked in schools, you had to get the vaccine. And at that point in time in my life, you gotta remember now, like, I had already helped my mom. I'm now on my health journey. I'm pretty much I'm vegan full-fledged at this point. Like, I've learned a lot. And so I've learned how to take care of myself. I know that elderberry can help me. People were buying elderberry for me at this time, because everyone's like, my immune system, I don't want to get sick.
yes,
So in my conscience and in my spirit, I didn't want to take the vaccine. I'm like, I don't need something to
right,
help me continue, regardless of what anybody else thinks. So it's like, I feel good in my body, that I don't need this. And I've been doing this job before this came out. So
okay, gotcha.
that put me in a very tough position, because now I was forced to be on pay without leave.
Okay, gotcha.
And so I'm living in New York, and I'm like, what is about to be my plan? And truly, truly, I didn't have one. But I decided to go to Georgia, where thankfully my family had a home. And I drove from New York to Georgia to just get a reset, because I was starting to
Mhm,
feel distress again. And
mhm,
I'm like, let me go out there. There's not much out there. Start hiking. And when
yeah,
people would start speaking to me, they were like, you sound a little bit better. I was like, yeah, but I'm still figuring out what my plan is. And that plan just happened to be like, well, I have this business. And at that time, it was like life coaching and a little bit of the detoxing, helping people lose weight through movement, not even Qigong, just personal training. And so that is what kicked off my journey of entrepreneurship full time. It was being thrown in because of one could even say, like, a traumatic experience. You go from, like, having a full-fledged, full-time job. I make a decision to put what I say my well-being first, and then I gotta leave this job. So my security is gone. And
mm,
if
wow,
anybody knows anything about stability, that is at the base of your spine, which is your root chakra. So
yes,
immediately, that's a flag.
Yes.
I know now is a flag. At that
Yes.
point, I was just
Yes.
like,
Yes.
I'm just taking this step at a time. And
Right.
it it really opened me up for a lot of wounds. And
Wow.
so that's why I say I commend you, because I took the journey step by step, just what was in front of me, and just let spirit kind of move me. Because being in Georgia, I will say it really has shaped my spiritual journey. I started meditating. I mean, it was ironic that I was working in mental health because we brought stress reduction to schools. We were doing
Yes.
workshops. So it
Yes.
was kind of coming into my aura anyway. I was,
Mm-hmm.
crystal girly, love going hiking. But
Yeah.
Georgia really sat me down for what I now know is the shadow work. There's always a book that I reference. The name is escaping me right now, but it's basically doing your daily pages, your morning
Okay.
pages, and the
Okay.
artist way. That's it, the artist way.
Oh, The Artist's Way. I've read that. Yes.
hmm
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I read, because now I have all this time. I'm not working. I'm learning how
Yes.
to build a business. I'm looking for
Yes.
coaches to help me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing this. I'm journaling. I'm meditating. I'm meeting. There's a person who has a store here in Georgia, and we're connecting. And I'm like, this is a whole new world to me. I'm being opened up to. So I'm doing that in the back end while I'm like, I'm just gonna pop up and get some clients, and none of that happened. It was constantly a battle in my business to build up clientele, because I thought I was going to be a vegan coach at the time.
Mm-hmm.
What it turned out to, as I say now, I'm this Rebirth Doula wellness empowerment coach, is that I didn't have enough experiences with the things that I was going through in life. Burnout was still at the top tier, but
Okay.
I just
Okay.
had
Got
so
you.
many challenges that I didn't know how to alchemize in that
Ah,
version of me, which was 2022 version of me.
okay.
2023 was like, okay, I'm more than a vegan coach. I'm an accountability coach. I can help you
Yes.
with your wellness needs. And then it
Yes.
was like everything I kept learning, including the burnout, because I'm like, I have to get this up and running because my
Mm-hmm.
finances are taking such a hit. So I
Ooh.
couldn't stop. So that's when you say, like, you went to therapy and you
Yeah.
got the help. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I can't even think about the help,
Right.
because right now I'm just here, and I'm like, how
Mm-hmm.
do I get out of this? How do I make something shake? And to me, I'm like, well, the spirituality is gonna help me move through this. I'm doing Reiki. I'm doing all the alternative medicines, but it
Yes.
wasn't coming out out of my body.
Got
Like,
you.
if people know,
Mm-hmm.
like, it gets stagnant. And it wasn't until I think 2024, I had a call
Mm-hmm.
with somebody, and we were talking about doing contracts for my business. And she said, I think you should take like 6 months off. Like, you sound
Wow.
exhausted. And
Yeah.
I was offended. I was like, what are you talking about?
Of
Like,
course
I
you were.
don't,
Of course you were. You're a Virgo.
yeah.
Of course you were.
I was offended, man. I'm like, I've all I've been doing is doing like 5 networking calls a day. Like, I was going in and
You
just
were
not seeing,
going in.
yeah, and not seeing the results that I desired. But I don't think nervous system, we talk about nervous system regulation. I don't think that version of me could have fully handled it, even though I wanted it, but like, I wasn't ready yet for all of it. And I had some clients
Right.
here and there, but every time I would get a client, it was in the most easeful way. Like, I would go hiking and meet somebody,
It
and
just
then
randomly meets. Yep.
it
Yes.
was
Yes.
like, it was a very
Yes.
different way to look
Yes.
at business. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, get somebody else. Like, I still wasn't fully accepting this aspect of where my life was, of this
Right.
easefulness. And
Mm-hmm.
so the burnout, just it was always there those past couple of years. And the more and more work I did, I would feel tired, and I would feel it in my body. I feel a lot of stress in my shoulders, and a lot of women do, because you're carrying the weight of the world on
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Everyone's burden. And so I started doing these different readings with people, and they would share this. But it wasn't until the beginning of 2024 where my body, like, really shut down on me. My hip was hurting, my back was killing me consistently, and I would be having these crazy headaches. So that's how it
Oh.
showed up. And at this point, I'm very much into alternative medicine, and so I sought out an acupuncturist. And she wasn't your typical acupuncturist. She
Mm-hmm.
did spiritual work, and I always say that,
Oh.
yeah, my ancestors lead me to the best people on my journey. I've
Yes.
had
Yes,
a
they
lot of
do.
people,
Yes, they
yeah,
do.
right? Had a lot of
Collect
people
that
help me.
tea.
Right, a lot of
Me
people helped
too.
me, and I was
Yes.
like, "This is because it's beyond me," you know? I'm also can be
Mm-hmm.
hard-headed when I was on this
Mm-hmm.
journey too, I'll say that. And,
Yes.
so she did meditations with me. She did some energy clearing, and on top of, for anyone who doesn't know, acupuncture is needles that they're moving
Yes.
your chi.
Yes.
So this was the beginning. I didn't know until now, and probably like 2 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
what was being set up for me, because she was sharing with me about stagnation in the body, the
Yes.
energy, chi, and we talk about qi gong.
Uh-huh.
Acupuncture has certain points in your body which are called meridians that help to
Yes.
remove that stagnation. But I
Yes.
guess because she realized how, like, I was on this spiritual journey, she would be teaching me, but I just wanted to get better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have time for this.
Realizing that what do we always say, when the
Hmm.
student is ready, the teacher will appear, right? So she
Yeah,
was teaching you in addition to the healing portion. I did want to
absolutely.
interject really quick to say, Naima Latif is saying thank you for sharing your story. A
Uh,
lot of people think it's easy to leave a job and start a business. We
yeah,
also had Empress Queen 229 coming in to say good evening
uh,
to us. Thank
yeah,
you guys for hanging in with us. But back to what you were
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
She was
Um,
teaching, she was healing and
mhm.
teaching simultaneously.
Yeah, and I wasn't getting it because she told me, like, Tanisha, you're gonna be doing some of this work for women. Like, you're going through this. You're going through these body pains. And I'm like, I
Yeah,
just want to get better. I'm not thinking about anybody else at this time. But we
right.
did a lot of energy work, and so much so that within a couple of months, like, my hip was feeling better, my lower back was feeling better from
Mhm.
all this energy work. I cried on that
Oh,
table so
wow.
many times. And when the needles would go in, like, I could feel the vibration, I could feel the
Mhm.
energy moving. And I was
Yes,
like, wow, this is
that's
it,
amazing.
it is amazing. And it was also like, this is not something we were taught. Like, why wasn't I taught about this?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
why anybody say
growing up.
anything?
I wish. And
Yeah.
so it really connected me even more and more to the chakra systems. And I was like, wow, this is great. Like, I'm up and running again. I'm feeling better. But I know that I was still stressed because the business wasn't moving the way I wanted to. And she was like, trust
Mhm.
me, like, it'll, as you continue to do this, it'll get better. And so about June 2024, I met the wonderful Queen of Fua, which a lot of people know in the
Oh,
wellness space.
yes,
And
we
I
do.
went to, yeah, she was here in Atlanta. And again, my ancestors guide me. I went to an event with her, and I ended up doing some work for Queen of Food. And I was like, where is my life taking me? Like, I'm focused on trying to get my retreat, because I was hosting a self-love retreat based
Yes.
on how I'm learning to self-love and regulate myself and do more somatic practices. But I was focusing on play because I feel that women of color, because we're always worried about everybody else, like, we don't take the time to have a good play date. Like,
Yes.
once we become
Yes.
adults, it's like, who made these rules that we can't have fun anymore? We can't just laugh just to laugh.
Right.
And I was going through that. My life was way too serious. Oh, I love this. Yeah, the practice of training yourself with kindness, compassion, and respect, similar to how you would treat a loved one. Most of the time, we don't. Most of the time, we treat ourselves worse than we treat anybody else.
Definitely.
It,
Definitely. And
it's
I think that, to your point, it's one of those things that we really do have to be cognizant of. But, and I heard somebody say one day, they were like, oh my God, I'm so sick of this whole self-love thing. And, tired of the soft life terminology. And I'm like, but why do we feel as if we always have to be enslaved to something? Is that yet another part of, the post-traumatic slave syndrome that
mm,
we experience? We think that we must always be tethered to the whip on the plantation.
mm,
Must we always, huh?
mm,
And I think that it just goes to show you how we have to deconstruct some of that harmful mindset,
yeah.
that's been kind of embedded in us. And here is, I wanted to just put up real quick. Hey, Xania.
They said,
Welcome in, sis. We're glad you're here. But to your point, self-love,
mhm,
such a key piece. Like, if we don't practice it, we end up showing more compassion. I'm gonna bring this back up here again. I'll make sure that the people see what we're saying.
mhm,
You end up treating other people with more love than you treat yourself with if you are not careful.
yeah,
And it sounds like, sis, you were on this journey where you were taking care of everybody else but you.
That part. It was that part. Yeah.
But you finally got it.
Hmm.
You finally got it. You
Yeah.
did. Now, we're gonna take a quick break. We have a word from yet another one of our sponsors, but when we come back, we're gonna dig even deeper. I want to talk about the qigong because we haven't scratched the surface on that yet, and I want to show a video clip of you actually doing a little qigong, if that's okay with you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Well, hang tight. We will be right back.
Everything we're made of contains light. From the sun that feeds our world to the energy that flows within us. With LifeWave X39, we've found a way to put that light to work. With X39, we achieved something remarkable in the field of wellness and science that others could not. By utilizing LifeWave's unique patented technology, X39 uses light to elevate GHK-Cu, a copper peptide known to support overall health and wellness. Unlike traditional light therapy, X39 uses the body's own infrared light to naturally increase vitality. By gently stimulating the skin with light, our non-invasive, non-transdermal X39 patches help you conquer your active lifestyle and pave a new way to vibrant health.
And we're back. So let's get back into this whole self-love thing because what I know that you offer self-love consultations. Am I
Yes.
correct? Could
Correct.
you tell us just a little bit about that and what that looks like?
Yeah, so it's a 25-minute call where people can really explain what's been going on with them, whether it's their gut issues, colon issues, not putting themselves first, and needing some mindfulness practices. So I'm really asking you questions like, what's your history? What brought you here on the call? What hasn't worked for you? If you're looking for weight loss, what are some things you have done versus what you haven't done? So it's really just a get to know each other type of call. And
Okay.
then from there, I pretty much figure out like, okay, maybe you need one-on-one coaching, maybe you need my stretch membership. It really varies because everybody is different, unless it's
Mhm.
a corporation and they're looking for, all their employees to have something with me. So that's a little bit different. But yeah, for a one-on-one individual person, there's 30-day accountability because sometimes someone just needs like a reset and a jump start. So it really depends on what your goals are, and then we take it from there based off of what I feel is best, and we really co-create together.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. I mean, and that sounds amazing. So I just want to let everybody know really quickly if you're interested in booking the self love consultation, you can do that over on Instagram at Phoenix Rising Doula underscore. Phoenix Rising Doula underscore. And you can book your self love consultation with Coach Tanisha, and she'll get you all the way together because you need to be practicing your self love. That's all I'm trying to say. Now,
Uh-huh.
we got to get people on board with this thing because, and I have to admit, it took me a while,
Hmm.
even after the therapy, the depression medication, and all of those things. I wasn't fully tapped in. So it's a journey.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I think you will agree with me when I say that.
Absolutely. It's ongoing. I'm still on my own journey. There's just different levels from where everyone starts and where we are currently. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that I do differently. So, for me, it's going outside. I started off with putting a timer for 20 minutes when I was so stressed just to take a break from my day. Now I'm spending like a good hour or two, or it's every week I'm going outside and taking a nature walk. It's a part of my, I say, rituals instead of routines, but you build up to something like that. So that could be something that I work on with someone. Like, it doesn't have to be 30, 40 minutes that you need to take to do these little things. It's just about switching little habits around to make you
Hmm.
feel better in the moment, because that is regulating your nervous system. You're teaching your body how to feel safe after going through something that is stressful or something that is traumatic. So for me, being outside, that's always been helpful. Also, having nourishing meals that's not hurting your gut health is extremely important too. I had a lot of gut health issues, which is something that the acupuncturist helped with as well during that time. But it's linked to emotions. So around your gut, it's your solar plexus, it's your sacral chakra. Those are confidence, willpower, sexual
Yes.
energy,
Yes.
creativity. You know,
Yes.
I've had a lot of creativity blocks. And so
Mm.
doing things of movement, yoga, qigong,
Mm-hmm.
helps break up that stagnant energy. And I even want to make the point of so many people are backed up literally with shit 5 to 20 pounds extra in their colon. Some of it and most of it is poor processed eating for
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
And no one really does the detoxing that they need to do with herbs, which is something I share with people on how to do it. But
Yeah.
the biggest thing is the emotions that are stored there from decades that we have never released. So I always share that, yes, I can help you lose physical weight, but we have to
Mhm.
do it through your emotions. And that's really what those self love, just to tie it all in, like the self love calls, it's more than just like, oh, here's this little
Yes.
exercise to like love on yourself, like buy yourself this pretty outfit. No, it
Yes.
goes
No.
way deeper than that. That is the true self-love to me. It's
Right.
not your beauty rituals. They all matter, don't get me wrong, but
Yes.
it's deeper. Like how when you look at yourself in the mirror, are you crying? If I was to tell you like look in the mirror for 10 minutes, don't say anything. Just
Mm-hmm.
literally gaze at
Just
yourself.
look. Just stare.
Just look.
Yeah.
Can you stare or is it awkward for you? And if
Mm-hmm.
you do it naked, that's a whole other aspect. Like, how does that
Yes.
feel? It's
Yes.
uncomfortable if you've never
Yes.
done these things before. That
Mm-hmm.
is the true version of like, I can love what this body looks like. I can love the inside because I found with my journey, I remember last year when I looked at myself in the mirror and just looked at my eyes, I was like, I lost the light in my eyes. I didn't see
Wow.
I didn't see without me physically smiling, I did not see the light in my eyes, and I was like, "Holy
Yeah.
shit," like, I'm so scared, for
Yeah.
what's going on with me because that's how deep and dark it was, and
Mm-hmm.
2020 the end of 2024, going into 2025 is when I finally went to therapy to, like, I can't do this anymore, and that was thankfully, like, I got a scholarship to have, like, 3 or 4 months of therapy, and it
Wow.
was helpful for where I was, but I'm
Yeah.
also like I and therapists will have their own say, but like I alchemize a lot of things quickly. It's just part of my nature, and it's
Yeah.
probably part of the high achievement woman too. For
Yeah.
that section of my life, I needed it, but
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't need to continuously keep talking about it because I know for
Yeah.
me, it's moving the emotion. I could talk all day. Like therapy was cool to be able to pinpoint certain things,
Yeah.
but qigong is what has helped me move the energy of the emotions that were trapped. Journaling is another way to physically be able to get it out
Yes. Yes.
of my body because we can
Yes.
talk about things all day, but if
Uh-huh.
it's never being moved and your chi is just constantly being stagnant, then
Mm-hmm.
you're never going to be able to not never, but it'll be really hard
It'll be very
to
difficult. Right.
because there's
Right.
people who are in therapy who some people choose to be in therapy because they like having someone to talk to, and I do feel that it's very important for that. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
diminish that. But then there are other people who constantly go through this cycle of like, well, I'm not able to move through this, and sometimes you just need something that's a little bit different,
Mm-hmm.
and movement is so healing. The everyone, if there's a lot of places like outside of this country where they prescribe going outside in nature, some
Yes.
breath work and movement.
Yes. Yes.
It's just science that this helps. So it's trying that aspect. And so that's why I started doing it for myself. When I started doing qigong, it helped me with my bowel movements when I was having colon issues. It helped me with even I felt the heat in my body when I would do certain exercises. And I was like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is not a joke." And so I eventually was like, "This would be amazing to get certified in because I'm seeing the benefits. I'm seeing how it helps you with your breath work. You're doing meditation in qigong. It's like an all-in-one encompass for and I'm like, "Oh, this is great." It's not just yoga and doing some movements. It literally tackles everything on every single level.
I wanted for the viewers to get a very succinct definition of qigong, and I brought it up here where it talks about it being developed in China thousands of years ago. So this is an ancient
Yeah.
practice.
No,
You know,
5,000. Yeah, 5,000 years.
Coach ain't up here just blowing smoke, y'all. She's talking about something that's been tried and true. You know, it's been around for some years, but saying that, just piggybacking off of what you said, it involves using those exercises to optimize that energy, body, mind, and spirit, and it improves so many things, both physically and psychologically. And this is what you're talking about. I want to show that clip really quickly
Okay.
of you in action, because I want the good people to see what Qigong actually looks like for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Join me as we do a waterfall Qigong exercise to balance your energy and help heal your nervous system. Bring your arms up and above over your head, and then calmly bring them down together, breathing, exhaling out. Inhale and exhale out. Do this about 10 times.
Listen, if that's all I got to do,
It's a part of it. Let's not get false hope out here. It's a part of it, okay?
if you give people an inch, they'll take them out. That's all I got to do. Oh, sign me up.
Oh man.
I'm like, look, if that's all I got to do to get my life together, then listen, where do I sign? How much is that? Because I want a piece of that. But
Yeah.
I realize it's way more than that. I'm being seriously facetious right now. But look at how easy and fluid it looks. It does not look like me having to run a marathon.
No.
It does not look like that. And it looks like something that, regardless of, and correct me if I'm wrong here, okay? Regardless of age, regardless of maybe physical stamina, regardless of how active you are, regardless of your weight, you may actually be able to do this. Am I on the right track, or am I kind of missing the boat here?
Absolutely. Qigong
Okay.
is for everyone. And just to even add something to that, the biggest reason why this summer I started doing it even more, in addition to what I've already shared, is that in May of this year, I got into a terrible car accident and I couldn't go to the gym. I
Okay.
couldn't do high intensity workouts. All I had was literally just being able, thankfully, my arms and my legs to still be able to do movement, but I suffered whiplash. I hurt basically like my entire spine, and my neck and my shoulders were really bad. So I started leaning more and more into, well, we're gonna use the term softer movements, but
Mm.
I started learning from people how qigong can help you with not only nervous system regulation, but helping heal back and inflammation inside of your body. So I started doing more and more research, and then there was a book that I don't recall the name of right now, but they were talking about doing qigong for seniors. And you don't have to stand up doing qigong like you see me doing in this video. You could do it sitting down. You could do it lying down. That is the beautiful thing with this practice. It can be done anywhere. You can do it at your office. You can do it in the grocery store. You could do a quick little movement and people won't even know what you're doing. Obviously, something like the waterfall is a little bit more intense, but there are some subtle things. Like right now, I can be just rubbing my ear and you may think like I'm just scratching my ear or something of that nature,
Yeah.
but that's actually activating some meridians that are inside of your ear. And if you do that for about 20, 30 times, you'll notice that your ear gets hot. And that's your chi energy that's
Get
being
out
built
of
up.
here. I didn't know that. That is amazing.
Little
So
things.
it's really just that simple. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, it is not something that's hard. It takes some time to learn there's always going to be like higher upgrades of doing certain exercises, but there
Mhm.
are very simple ones, and that's why I really liked it the most. Because I was like, I can teach this to high achieving women who are constantly on the go and they feel that they don't have enough time to put themselves
Right.
first to do these exercises. So, I host weekly Qigong stretch classes every Thursday, and it's only 30 minutes on purpose. You can do 10, 20 minutes on your own, but for this class, I really want to build this community of you can do this in 30 minutes and it doesn't have to take up all your time. And this, if this is the only block that you give yourself for some
Mhm.
nervous system regulation, at
Mhm.
least it's better than nothing. Because I also have a WhatsApp community where I'll be sharing different motivational things and just like dropping in some detox drinks and some herbs that they can use as well.
Ooh.
And when people are ready for the next step, then there's my one-on-one coaching, and we can do that in depth where we're really taking it step by step with what you need while still incorporating that movement.
Oh, definitely. Oh, girl, sign me up. Sign me up. You just got your next client. Sign me up
All
because I
right.
need it. I
Let's
need it
do it.
because I am. And I was just as I was talking to Dr. Naima Latif earlier.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I was telling her, I sent her a text, and I was saying that I had missed her phone call. She had called me about something, and I missed the call because I was working. I was doing some homework because I'm back in school for the 100th time, and but I still work and I still have other projects. I have my own business that I do on the side, and I'm just like, wow, I'm still kind of like on the hamster wheel somewhat, but I do recognize, I feel like now more than ever before, when I don't feel a need to constantly stay on. I
Mhm.
listen to my body and I recognize when it's time to either come off or to add something in that will help support where I am right now.
Mhm.
Told you, I think when we were talking the other day, I had heard of Qigong. I
Right.
had been invited to participate, but never quite found the time. But I also believe as if timing is everything as well. Like
Mhm.
the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Hello,
You're
teacher.
right. Hey,
Hey, girl. Hey, coach.
I love it. It's
Listen,
so true. Alignment.
it's alignment, right? And you were
Mhm.
saying something about alchemy earlier, and the art of alchemy, which, believe it or not, you may not have been able to see it in years past, but you're a natural alchemist because of your sun sign placement. Virgo is mutable. It's mutable energy. You guys, mutable signs, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, you guys can take anything and transmute it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's coming into the awareness of that.
Mhm.
And now that you have, it's like you you took off like a rocket, and there's no going back.
That's true. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when I know better, I do better.
Hello. Yeah, because now we're doing all the somatics. That's part of my day. My day does not start like any call or anything, and that's putting myself first. Like until
Okay.
I do my movement, until I have listened to some type of my own self hypnosis to just get my
Okay.
mindset right. Because
Okay.
you have to continuously do these practices. I always tell that to people.
Mm.
If I stop and I didn't do this for the next 5 months, I'm going to be right back where I am.
Oh,
Before previously.
definitely.
So
Yes.
it's
Yes.
constantly like making sure I do it. And before it used to take like 2-3 hours because I was learning what I liked, what I didn't like, and
Mm-hmm.
now I've gotten it down to like, okay, I could journal. And some people be like, well, it's so routine. To me, this is what's helping me be able to show up here. It's helping me in my day to day.
Yes.
So if I don't do this, then
Then
that's when the
life
problems
comes.
come about. So
That's
routine,
it.
ritual, use whatever quote unquote word you want to use is
Mm-hmm.
what helps me continuously keep showing
Oh,
up because
definitely.
I know what the burnout feels like and
Yeah.
I'm not going back to that.
Oh,
So
for sure.
I've cultivated these practices and found out like I like this or I don't like this. And I
Yes.
was the person though in the beginning, and that's very Virgo of me to be like, I have to do my meditation for an hour. It's like, no, if you take 10 minutes and you go outside for your walk, actually you just need more nurture. You need a little bit more nature in your life. And somatic
Yes.
shaking is something that's really big for me in addition to the Qigong. And so that's great. And I can do Qigong, for 20 minutes, but I'll probably do it two more times throughout the day because something will happen in my energetic field. And now
Mm-hmm.
I can get myself back to where I need to be to getting back to being regulated.
Okay, now give me that term again. It was somatic.
Oh, shaking. So it's an exercise,
Tell
and
me
most
about
people,
that.
yeah. So somatic, it's easier to show, but usually you're
Okay.
literally on the your balls are like your feet, and you're up and down. You're just moving up and down. So your whole body, you're only seeing my shoulders, but your legs would be shaking as well. And so that is a way. Think of the best example actually that people could picture is, when dogs shake.
Yes.
So they're shaking off energy. So when you do it, you're
Okay.
also shaking off energy. You do that for you could start off with 2 minutes. And I have noticed how my shoulders feel lighter. I don't feel all
Oh,
as much
wow.
tension inside of my body. So that's one quick practice. Like anybody can start doing that today. You just want to make sure like the balls continue to stay on your feet on the floor, and a slight bend in your knees when you're doing it. But
Okay.
come to the class on Thursday. I'll be doing it with people.
Okay. Okay. And your classes on Thursdays are at what time again?
6:45 Eastern.
Okay, 6:45 Eastern. And we can sign up for that
On the
where?
Gumroad website that I know that you have, but also, if anyone's following me on TikTok, it's on there as well, or shoot me a DM on Instagram. Either way, I'll send you the link, because I'm registering everyone now and sending out all the information for that. And there
Perfect.
will be classes on Saturdays as well, but for right now, Thursday 6:45 p.m. every single week, we're gonna be on the mat, and yeah, just showing people how they can live a better lifestyle.
Okay. Oh, that sounds awesome. So, now tell me this: will classes be, if you've got people who are signing up, but maybe Thursdays they've already got obligations? Will the classes be recorded, or how is that working right now?
So right now, no, everything is live because I want you to purposely show up for yourself. But
Uh-huh.
like I said, there will be another day where I am going to roll out another day for people. But if
Got
someone's like, hey, like none of this is working out, but they want
it.
one-on-ones, I also have that available too, where you can just have access to me and we will do it together.
Okay. Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh, that's amazing. So when we're talking about, the qigong, and we're talking about the somatic shaking, I got it right. Am I correct? All
Mhm.
of these things, acupuncture, these are all things that you can do to help get your emotions and your nervous system regulated. Am I correct?
You are very correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure that I try to listen to the teacher and to take notes. I want to make sure I have everything correct.
Okay.
I find it interesting though, as I'm sitting and listening and talking to you, and I, of course, because I'm somewhat of an astrologer, I relate everything back to astrology.
Mm.
But as a Virgo sun and myself as a Virgo rising, nervous system and digestive systems.
Oh yeah. I'm ruled by the stomach. I've had so many issues.
If I could just find a way to get around that,
I know.
how amazing it would be. But I find that the two are intertwined.
Mm,
So if my emotions and my nervous systems aren't regulated, then
mhm.
it's going to cause problems in my digestive tract.
Yes.
Have you found that to be the case as well?
Yeah, because I've been on this health conscious journey for since 2017 or so, where I was just like, oh, vegan is the way. And I still practice this lifestyle. But in the past year, when my burnout has been crazy, I
Uh-huh.
learned that no matter how much I detoxed, no matter what I ate, it was the emotions that were killing my stomach.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I know that is because now I've had some junk food and I'm like, I don't feel anything.
See,
So there
yes.
is a, and this is not for the people out there who are like, oh, I can go eat what I want. No, don't
No,
do it.
that's not what we
Don't
said. Coach
don't.
didn't say that. Coach didn't say that. No,
But
no, 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 no.
when you give them an inch, they take a mile. It's like, oh,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I could go have my Coke. That's not what I'm
Like
saying.
this chick right here. Uh-huh. Cause I was like, oh, let me see. But now I just got over some stomach issues actually last night,
Mm,
girl. Let me tell
mm,
you. How about the fact that last night I had just taken my medicine,
mm,
and I all of a sudden started getting this cramping in my
mm,
stomach. And I was like, now where did that come from? Because I really hadn't eaten much that day.
mm.
And I'm just like, oh, what is going on with this? I mean, like it'll come out of the blue.
Oh no.
And I was just, and I mean, took me down and out. I couldn't even go to work today. I got
Mm,
sick. And so I have to, even though I have to be mindful, I was diagnosed with colitis about 2 years ago. I had suffered from IBS for years. For those who don't know, that's
Mm-hmm.
irritable bowel syndrome. Okay, we having a whole medical segment now. But anyway, and neither of us are MDs, so we're just giving some information.
Right.
But I'm saying all of that to say that I have found a direct correlation. Sometimes it's the food, but sometimes it's me. And it's what I'm going through. And I have kind of been in a tither lately at work because of the fact that I just started this new gig about 2 months ago. I'm still waiting for them to give me all of my credentials. So I feel like I'm constantly working like behind the 8 ball, if you will. Like I don't really know what to expect because I don't have all the things, if that makes sense. And for Virgo placement,
I was like, the uncertainty, I already hear it. I got it.
I mean, through the roof, nerves through the roof, and even though I know how to bring it in, I know how to meditate and breathe, do the breath work and work my way through it. But still in the back of my mind, I'm like, I need my stuff so I could get the job done because I don't want y'all coming to me saying I missed a piece or I got a deadline now. And one thing I don't do well with is deadlines. I like to have my stuff done in advance.
Hello. Hello. Yes.
A whole entire recipe for disaster. So to your point, it's like we have to be mindful of all of this stuff. And no, you just can't look at your diet. You have to look at what is going on emotionally or in your nervous system.
Yeah, it's emotionally, physically, and spiritually. That's why I say mind, body, and soul. It's a holistic experience. And even for what you're going through, like something that is supportive on the physical aspect, right, would be having lemon balm and passion flower. Helps with anxiety, helps calm you down a little bit. So like at the end of the night, that could be something that you have. They'll help you eat. So you always got to set yourself up for success. So if right before bed you're having a big meal, probably not the best for you because this is going to go into a whole different conversation. It is a little bit about food and the health aspect because I do help people with weight loss. But if you are having a meal at 9 p.m., your circadian rhythm is really expecting your body to be slowing down with your eating.
Yes.
Technically, it'd be amazing if you have your last meal between like 7 and 8.
Yes.
Because a lot of people especially if you're working at 9 to 5, like you come home maybe between 5 and 6, like you have your dinner, and then usually most people are going to sit on the couch. Not a lot of people are going for a walk. Whereas in different countries, for example, last year when I went to Mexico, after I ate, I walked. We don't do that often here. So it's it's crazy, but because of that, all that food is sitting. And if you're someone who eats real later, then you're going to bed and now that food is sitting on your stomach. So your body's not able to digest it.
Yes.
And then what do? The typical like standard American diet is we wake up and then we want to have like the eggs, the bacon, the pancakes or whatever, like heavy meals, a lot of bread. And really your circadian rhythm when you're waking up, that's actually between the hours of like 11 p.m. to about 7 a.m. That's your detoxification. And so you want less things in your body so your body can be able to do what it does. Your body's a machine. You get your car oil changed, like you need to allow your body to be able to release things. Having when you're waking up like lemon water, having key lime water, something that's warm, not going for something cold that's harsh on the system, and then having some fruit. And then now if you want to have your bread, like I wouldn't recommend it, but you can do that. But first, I'll give your body the chance to excrete, because a lot of people, going back to what I said about the 5 to 20 pounds stuck in your colon, you have so much stuck in there, and so a lot of people have such a hard time going to the bathroom more than once a day. Forget sometimes like in a week. But that's on a physical basis. This is what we could do physically. And then, you come to me and we can work through the emotions. But I just wanted to put that out there. Like this is like people are doing this to yourself. But if you set yourself up with success and have the tea at the end of the night, instead of having the junk food, like at least you're helping your body calm down because those herbs help with nervous system regulation.
So you recommend the lemon water in the morning and at night?
No. What I recommended at night is lemon balm and passion flower.
Okay, at night, lemon balm and passion flower. Now we could just buy that in a tea form, or
they have loose leaf, so you can go to I believe it's Star West Botanicals, and honestly, I just ship it either from there or from Amazon. They have that company. You type it in, and then you can get that package and get that tea.
Okay, I love that. So many nuggets of wisdom have been dropped here this evening. Like I feel like our segment is almost over and we haven't even scratched the surface. Oh my God. There's so many nuggets of wisdom. Thank you so much for everything that you brought to our awareness this evening. Tell people again how they can get in contact with you and any new offerings that you have coming up before we close out.
Yeah, so you can contact me on TikTok, so MS Wellness LLC. You can also reach out to me on IG, Phoenix Rising Doula _. The easiest also is just like honestly reaching out to me via email, Tanisha at mswellnessllc.com. I have my Rebirth Sanctuary podcast where you can hear more of my story more in depth, so you can subscribe to that. And yeah, and then for the offerings, like I said, this Thursday we kick off the Phoenix Rising Stretch membership. It's $25 every single week. We will be on the mat, and it's a WhatsApp community. There you go. So the link will be in the show notes. And if you're ready for something more serious, click the link to have your self-love consultation. I also do sacred strategy sessions as well. And yeah, we can see what you need. And on the corporate setting, if your job is looking for Qigong instructors, mindfulness instructors, I'm here to be able to provide that service as well and do retreats.
I love it. Girl, you are doing amazing things. Do you hear me? You have been an amazing guest. I can't wait to work with you. I can't wait to tell my people about you. I'm going to tell the people about you. And I'm just looking forward to learning, more from you as it relates to self-love, Qigong, and regulating my nervous system. And so I can get this digestive tract under control. I mean, you are just a godsend, to say the least.
Thank you so much.
And I wish you much continued success on your journey. I know that we haven't heard the last of you. Would love to have you come back at some point once you've kicked off some of these projects, and we want to hear about all the wonderful things that are happening in the midst of that.
It's been a pleasure. I truly appreciate this time with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sis. And before we leave, we're going to have another word from our sponsor, The Female Solution. This has been episode 8 of #What Woke Looks Like with none other than Coach Tanisha Naughton, Rebirth Doula, and Qigong. See, I had it. Qigong instructor. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, zhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jaref. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings. We've come to the end of our show today. If you missed any broadcasts, go to our website for the audio and video archives at www.thefemalesolution.com. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to thank all of you who participated in today's discussions. And to our global family joining us from all around the world, we say thank you. To our family in China, xie xie. India, zhanyavad. Japan, arigato. Korea, kamsamnida. Russia, spasiba. Germany, danke. Poland, dziękuję. France, merci. Spain, gracias. Italy, grazie. Egypt, shukran. Ghana, madasi. Nigeria, eshe. South Africa, ngiyabonga. Senegal, jareh. Kenya, asante. Israel, toda. Pakistan, shukriya. Afghanistan, tashakur. Saudi Arabia and Palestine, shukran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you, and may peace be upon you and the mercy of God and God's blessings.